Nightly greetings, one and all. William Theo here, homegrown and happy to be bringing you major events unfolding here and abroad within the 24-hour news cycle. And tops on our list today, French farmers have taken to the streets and disrupted and blocked road traffic on freeways and roads, setting up face-offs and clashes with French police since the resistance and protests began Monday over unrealistic agricultural policies, taxation, and overregulation, among others. But French Minister Gerard Darmanin, in a presser yesterday, urged French police to show a measure of leniency and moderation against the protesters who have been through difficult times to keep afloat. Protesters have turned street signs upside down and blocked freeways and surface streets with their trucks, tractors, wooden pallets, and debris of all sorts. These protests have not been limited to France alone. Other EU nations such as Germany, Poland, Romania are seeing a groundswell of farmer protests in step with their counterparts in France. Meanwhile, the San Francisco 49ers are among the handful of elite teams in the National Football League, or NFL, thanks to great quarterbacks like Hall of Famers Joe Montana and Steve Young in the 80s and the 90s, and the 49ers' current signal caller Brock Purdy is shaping up to follow in their winning tradition and late-game heroics. Purdy threw for 267 yards and a touchdown to lead the Niners from down 17 at halftime and tie the Lions 24, all at the end of the third. And then spearheaded the charge in the fourth to score on field goal and then a TD pass to wide receiver Brandon Ayuk, from which the Detroit Lions never recovered, losing to the Niners 31-34. With the win, a rematch with the Kansas City Chiefs, who beat the Niners 4 years ago in Super Bowl Live 54. The 49ers are a 2.5 favorite to win per Las Vegas odds makers. In other news, the GOP-led U.S. House of Representatives is loath to extend any more financial aid to Ukraine, in part because of a lack of comprehensive auditing of the hundreds of millions of dollars U.S. President Joe Biden has extended to them since early 2022. This latest unraveling of a bogus weapons deal might seal the doom of any more aid going to Ukraine in the near future, as VOA's Arash Arabasadi lays out in this report.
Soldiers holding defensive positions near the Ukrainian city of Bakhmut fire artillery rounds after last year's counteroffensive failed to pierce heavily fortified Russian positions in the south and east of Ukraine. They say the one thing they always need is more ammunition. It is against this backdrop that the Security Service of Ukraine, or SBU, announced it charged 5 people with embezzling some $40 million meant to buy 100,000 mortar shells. The money changed hands. The weapons never came. Rooting out corruption was and remains a key pillar in Ukraine's bid to join NATO and the EU, with officials from both groups demanding Kyiv address internal fraud. Meanwhile, the Kremlin continues striking Ukrainian targets like residential buildings and civilian infrastructure. But it was in St. Petersburg just days ago that a court convicted Daria Trepova for a terror attack on Russian soil in April 2023. Trepova was charged with delivering an explosive device to a pro-war Russian blogger as he gave a talk at a local cafe. She called it all a setup, saying she thought she was delivering a listening device and not a bomb that could have also killed her. She was sentenced to 27 years. All this comes as wartime officials disputed each other's accounts of the downing of a Russian military plane said to be carrying 74 people, including 65 captured Ukrainian soldiers en route to a supposed prisoner swap for Russian POWs. Moscow has provided little evidence to back its claims that Ukraine shot down the jet or that captured soldiers were on board. Ukraine says Russia is so far blocking an international investigation, while Kyiv neither confirms nor denies involvement in the crash. Arash Arabasadi, VOA News.
At this moment, we turn to our colleague in our Pine City studios for the latest developments in the Cordilleras. Ala?
Ngayong bag-arabi Pilipinas, sumagmanulangan ni Aldao, may lukat mananti mapadpadaanan a Baguio Flower Festival wano pa nagbanga 2024. Celebrating traditions, embracing innovations. Dahil at tema ti selebrasyon ti Baguio Flower Festival 2024. Intod Pebrero 3, Sabado, maangay ti opening parade. Itatawan 19 aktibidad, tinasagana amang awis iti rinibribo nga umili kan turista nga agbuya. Awan mo tinamonitor ti Prisya apangta iti masungad a panagbanga. Nga midi Biyernes, insiyang ti Baguio City Police Office, di simulation exercise, tatno marukod no epektibo ti insagana da a security plan ken medical evacuation no adda ti mapasamak. Daman ti 2,300 ti PNP am deploy inton panagbanga, 1,000 ti agbantay iti Central Business District, bayt ti 1,300 ket iti ruar ti CBD. Nang runa kadagiti intersections, dagiti kalsada ken kadagiti ayan, dagiti adu at tao.
90% of the entire plan is already a template. Kasi naman, napakaganda. But we need to really work on yung crowd control. Kailangan kasi yung crowd control dyan para hindi mangyari yung bigla na lang magkaroon ng mob. Hindi mo maiwasan eh. So kailangan talaga yung mga buffer zone.
Iti sa Balyadamag, nakitaripnong ni Department of Agriculture Secretary Francisco Cho Laurel Jr. karagiti key stakeholder iti Highland Vegetable Industry iti Cordillera. Iti tarigagay ang mapasaya ti agriculture sector. Agarub sa ngagasot ti Dimaray iti dialogo pakiramanan dagiti Farmer Cooperatives and Association, Market Facilitator, Trader, Tracker, Agricultural and Fishery Council, kan dagiti Agricultural Extension Worker. May isa kadagiti kangrunan na pagsaritaan ti panagrairal ti vegetable smuggling. Ingkari ni Secretary Laurel, tutukan na ti parikot, gaputa may samot lang daytoy kadagiti bilin ti Presidente. Adamot ten tinabukal nga anti-smuggling task force ken uray laangan ti panang aproba ditoy ti Malacañang. Imbinglay ni Secretary Laurel Jr. ang nakipaay ti gobyerno iti nasurok 130 million pesos agatad ti financial aid equipment and irrigation projects kadagiti mannanon iti Cordillera. Impanamnaman ni Secretary Laurel ti panakasolbar dagiti parikot tapno maaddan iti umdas a supply ti taraon. May pababa ti presyo dagiti gagatangan ken may pangato ti produksyon. Dagiti damdamag, manipo dito'y PTV Cordillera, siyak ni Ala Sunduan, naimbag Arabi.
Thank you, Ala, and that's a wrap for tonight's show. We look forward to you joining us tomorrow for more and urge you all to work hard, dream big, count your blessings as you catch the news right here. William Theo wishing you all a restful night ahead.